Welcome back then to Game on Hay. We know now that the tension is building. We know now also that after the toss, New Zealand will bowl first. Their intention obviously to avoid any problems with possible dew later on. It puts the pressure on England's batsmen to try and set a total that might or might not be unbeatable, of course, in the end, but they hope they set a total that will be unbeatable. And so we have a game on, as they literally say. So we'll have a game on in about half an hour's time, just under. So first of all, let us look at the teams. There was one change from the teams that played last for these respective countries, and the changes with England because, of course, of the injury to Jason Roy. So Sam Billings comes in. It looks like he's due to bat at number 5 ahead of Liam Livingstone, but all these things, of course, can change. You've got Moeen Ali scheduled at number 7, but he could bat number 3 if they want him to, if the situation and the matchups allow. Bairstow moves up as suspected as well, so Buttler and Bairstow will open the innings in about 15 minutes time, just over. Malan at 3, the captain at 4, Billings, Livingstone, Moeen can bat in any order. Wokes, Jordan, Adil Rashid and Mark Wood make up the 11. So New Zealand then, who won the toss, opted to bowl first. That means that the likes of Southee and Boult with that new ball will try and do early damage. They've got Adam Milne, who's also pacey. The spin is Santner and Sodhi, so those are the men in the at the top of the tree, as it were, in terms of what's required next, the bowlers. When they get to bat, when they get to chase, Guptill and Mitchell have both had form in this competition. Williamson, of course, one of the world's finest players in any format. Conway, Phillips, Neeson. I mean, that could be a strong-looking, very strong-looking middle order as well. So, and the one thing they will know by the time they get to bat is exactly what their target is. And if their bowlers have done a good job, then obviously they'll be feeling confident about that. But we're hoping that the toss won't make a complete difference to the game. I mean, the pitch looks good, as Nasser was saying, and that Kiwi. So at least we had an even match. One New Zealander, one English commentator looking at the pitch. So that's even. That's so far the only thing that's been even.
And what about the toss?
Well, the toss.
At the toss, there were how many Englishmen?
And 2 Englishmen, one Englishman, one Irishman, a New Zealander,
now he's
and
Irish.
an Australian. Well,
now he's Irish.
Please look on his birth certificate. I've got it here somewhere. Okay, right. So the bowling. This is where we need to talk about New Zealand's bowling, because that's what's going to happen first. They're getting the men to try and put pressure on, starting with Trent Boult. So the left armour thing, which we've seen work so well throughout the tournament for all sorts of different countries. He is one of the best.
Aaqib bhai, left arm
early on, pitched up, tried to swing the ball, and he's quite accurate because whatever you have in your hand, it has to be in control. Most of the time, we have seen him producing the results. With the new ball, mostly fuller length, and then gradually he's got good bouncer as well. The only thing which the New Zealand bowler overall, they need to come good at the end. The death bowling is their problem. Otherwise, we have seen other day against Pakistan as well. So I think when it comes to good teams, I think they're good at the start, but the death bowling is their problem.
Well, if my butler is still in at the time, that could be some serious damage. We hope, and well, we can't assume anything, but those of us that are backing England today, hope it will be time to put the foot to the pedal at the end.
And we can and with that desire, we can go and look at Tim Southee. दूसरे जो बॉलर नई बॉल से बॉलिंग करेंगे राशिद भाई, टिम साउदी भी काफी अच्छी बॉलिंग कर रहे हैं, खतरनाक लग रहे हैं दूसरी ऑपोजिशन के अगेंस्ट.
न्यू बॉल अच्छी करते हैं दोनों बॉलर, जैसे ट्रेंट बोल्ट का दिखाया या टिम साउदी, ये आगे बॉल करते हैं, स्विंग होती है इन दोनों की बॉल. अगर रेशियो देखेंगे, अगर हम स्टैट्स भी देखते हैं, इनका आगे बॉल करके स्विंग करते हैं तो ट्रबल करते हैं, ये दोनों बॉलर्स करते हैं. और मे भी आज भी करेंगे. इनकी देखें गुड लेंथ पे 5.7 एंड बैक ऑफ लेंथ भी अच्छी है इनकी 3.4 इकॉनमी रेट देखें. तो सऊदी बहुत सक्सेसफुल रहे इन पिचेस पे, सब कॉन्टिनेंट में या यूएई में. इकॉनमी रेट बहुत इंप्रेसिव है इनका, और स्ट्राइक रेट भी देख सकते हैं. तो ये एक बॉलर है जो कि 15 का वर्ल्ड कप भी देखते हैं, 19 के वर्ल्ड कप में बहुत सक्सेसफुल रहे हैं अगेंस्ट इंग्लैंड.
He has been one of the most successful bowlers against England also in World Cups.
Thank you. I'll give him all due credit. He's bowled really well in this tournament. And in fact, if you remember back at the start of the Super 12s, there was his first game wasn't so good, which must have been
Pakistan.
That was Pakistan, and there was talk. Is he up to it? Should they drop him? But he's got better and better, I think, through the tournament. So he is one to be respected immensely.
For sure. What I think is quite important here, maybe for the England batting side, is not to be worried too much about the fact the due, but to try and put on a total that is respectably enough, not to try and go crazy, thinking that I have to be over 200, as you would suggest, at 220.
Well, no, I said that off air as a sort of optimistic, overinflated. If they get that, we'll be mighty pleased. But if we're talking realistically, sort of 160,
yeah, it's
170.
highly important. You cannot afford to. You must have respect for that bowling attack.
Oh, sure.
And that I think is of vital importance if you need to get a decent total on board.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they will have proper respect for proper bowling.
The average score on this ground is like 160 to 165, but it depends when the two strong teams play each other, what would be the score. So I think anything lesser than 150 or 160, I think it will be easier to chase down because of the dew factor. It's always become easier when it's come to batting second, under lights and some dew on. And why not? I mean, look, we wanted to see something like 165
Yeah, plus.
and around a plus.
Yeah. If we get that, we've got a game.
Yeah.
And potentially a very good, potentially quite close game. Who knows? Spin. There's a strong spin department as well for New Zealand. Sodhi and Santner. Santner has this ability just to sort of, with orthodox left-arm spin, vary his pace, his lines, trajectories. He's a clever bowler, knows what he's doing. He's been around a while. I think he's had a pretty good tournament all round.
He has, apart from just one game, I think he has bowled really, really well. And his record is also better against England as compared to Saudi, because Saudi has not been as effective against England. So if New Zealand has to win this semi-final, Santner's role is going to be extremely important against the kind of batters. और जो matchups की बात हम कर रहे थे, बेस्ट्रो अगर आते हैं उनके साथ आपको लगता है कि न्यूजीलैंड भी पावर प्ले के अंदर सैंटनर को यूज करेंगे?
कर सकते हैं, लेकिन आई थिंक वो अपने स्विंग के ऊपर जाएंगे, टिम साउदी और उसके साथ जाएंगे।
मिलन को प्रेफर करेंगे सैंटनर की जगह, आपको लगता है अगर पावर प्ले में यूज?
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि उसको करेंगे मिलने, क्योंकि अभी मिलने का रिकॉर्ड इतना अच्छा नहीं है वर्ल्ड कप में, लेकिन मैंने उसको 100 में भी देखा है, काउंटी क्रिकेट में भी देखा है। ही वाज बॉलिंग रियली वेल। वो हार्ड लेंथ पे बॉल करते हैं, तेज करते हैं, उसके पास वेरिएशन बहुत अच्छी है। इतनी अच्छी बॉलिंग नहीं की, लेकिन वो भी इंपॉर्टेंट है। लेकिन अगर न्यूजीलैंड की अगर बॉलिंग देखें ना आप, उनके पास भी 6 ऑप्शंस हैं बॉलिंग के लिए। निशम भी बॉलिंग करते हैं, अगर विकेट में थोड़ा सा गेंद स्विंग हो रहा हो गया, मूवमेंट होगी, तो उसको भी लेके आ सकते हैं।
उसको भी लेके आ सकते हैं। उमर, आप कुछ ऐड करना चाहेंगे इस ओवरऑल जो मैचअप होगा इंग्लैंड न्यूजीलैंड की बॉलिंग का वर्सेस इंग्लैंड की बैटिंग इस पहले इनिंग्स के लिए?
ओवरऑल अगर आप देखें तो न्यूजीलैंड की इकोनॉमी रेट अगर देखें सब बॉलर के बड़े ज़बरदस्त है। सैंटनर की बात कर रहे थे, उसका इकोनॉमी रेट तो अच्छा है, लेकिन उसको थ्रू आउट जो उसकी रेपो है अभी तक वर्ल्ड कप में उस तरह की विकेट नहीं मिली जिस तरह पास में उसने परफॉर्म किया। अगर आप उसकी स्ट्राइक रेट की बात करें तो 54 पॉइंट समथिंग है। तो आई थिंक उस पर एक वो प्रेशर वो होगा ऑब्वियसली कि मेन बॉलर है टीम का। लेकिन अगर आप उसके दूसरे स्पिनर की बात कर रहे हैं तो सेकंड हाईएस्ट विकेट टेकर है सऊदी, और उसके इकोनॉमी रेट भी बड़ा ज़बरदस्त है, स्ट्राइक रेट 13.6। तो ओवरऑल अगर आप कंपेयर करें तो मैच टू मैच दोनों टीमों के जो स्पिनर अगर आप देखते हैं तो इक्वली एक जैसी है।
Yes, the most impressive part about New Zealand bowling has been their economy. They have not conceded a lot of runs, so that's why they have not been able to ask to make a lot of runs. So that would be the key, and if England can actually break the shackles and put a bigger score on the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's usual things. I just think the first 2 or 3 overs will be absolutely crucial for all the usual reasons. It's either breakthroughs or runs. If the breakthrough is with the bat, then England are off to a flying start. If the breakthrough is with the ball, then New Zealand will have that chance to control it, to change the bowling, change the pace, keep things restricted. It just gives you that early advantage. There's that sort of battle for supremacy in the first 3-4 overs.
So that's why it's so important that your butler take care of the wardrobe.
Well, once he's delivered my drinks.
Yeah. Because it's going to. It depends on what's his approach tonight. We have seen him all guns blazing from the start. Let's see what a semi-final brings, knowing that if he fails, the law order could be in trouble.
Yeah, okay.
So he's got a lot of responsibilities here tonight.
Okay, right. The time for talking apparently is done. The time to go to Abu Dhabi and get the atmosphere and get the build-up, the final build-up as they get towards that first ball is right now. We'll see you later.
England just lost that one game, didn't they, against South Africa?